So, you want to get rich? Of course you do. But what if I told you that according to entrepreneur and philosopher NavalRavikant, you're probably asking the completely wrong question? In fact, that single question might be the very thing holding you back. So let's dive into the core ideas from the Almanack of Naval Ravikant and see how we can rewire our thinking for both wealth and happiness.
And this is the fundamental question Naval wants us to ask ourselves. Are you playing the wrong game? Because let's be honest, most of us are playing a game we're set up to lose. Or at the very least, a game that's never going to give us what we really want. This almanac, it's not just a set of tips, it's a whole new playbook for changing the entire game.
The core problem, the one that trips almost everyone up, starts with a false choice that society has been selling us for a long time. It's this idea that you have to pick one: massive success or a happy, peaceful life. Naval says that's a trap.
I mean, you know the story, right? Society tells you it's a trade-off. You can either grind yourself into the ground, sacrifice your well-being, and maybe get rich, or you can choose to be happy but probably stay broke. But Naval's philosophy just flips that whole idea on its head. It's not a trade-off. It's an integrated game where wealth and happiness aren't fighting each other. They're actually the result of applying the exact same core principles.
Okay, so let's get tactical. Let's talk about building wealth. The key here isn't about finding some secret hack or a get-rich-quick scheme. No, it's about deeply, truly understanding the fundamentals of how wealth is actually created in the modern world.
First things first, we have to get this definition right, and this is crucial. Wealth is not money. Money is just a tool we use to trade our time and other people's time. True wealth, the way Naval defines it, is owning assets that earn for you, even when you're sleeping. Think businesses, software, investments, stuff like that. This kind of wealth, this is what creates real freedom and gives you options in life.
So how do you build those assets? Well, it all starts with this amazing concept Naval calls specific knowledge. Now, this isn't something you can just learn in a weekend seminar. It's that unique spot where your genuine curiosity and your skills overlap, something you build over years. It's what makes you a one-of-a-kind expert, the person that can't just easily replace with someone cheaper.
Okay, so once you have your specific knowledge, you need to amplify it with leverage. Most of us start at level 1, labor. Trading our time for money. It's a necessary first step, but it's always going to be limited. The next level up is capital, using money to make more money. That's a huge accelerator. But the real game changer, the ultimate leverage in today's world, is technology and media. Think about code or content. You create it once, and it can work for you and serve millions of people without any more of your time. That is the secret to exponential wealth.
So it really boils down to this powerful formula. You combine your unique, specific knowledge with a form of high leverage, preferably tech or media, and then you take accountability. You put your name on it, you take the risk, and you own the outcome, good or bad. That combination right there, that is the engine of wealth creation. This is such a critical piece of the puzzle that so many people just completely miss. Naval says to focus on playing long-term games with long-term people. Don't chase a quick, one-time win at someone else's expense. Build trust. Play games where people want to keep doing business with you over and over again. Your reputation is literally your most valuable asset.
Now let's talk about the psychological side of this because it's huge. Envy is an absolute poison. Naval calls it the one sin that serves absolutely no purpose. It just makes you miserable and them no worse off. The only productive comparison is with your past self. Are you learning? Are you growing? Are you better than you were last year? That is the only scoreboard that actually matters.
All right, we've covered wealth, but what about the other side of that coin? Let's talk about happiness, because as Naval would argue, getting rich without being happy is the ultimate failure. And his approach here is just as counterintuitive and just as powerful. Now, this is a profound statement. Just think about it. We usually think happiness is about getting the things we desire, the car, the promotion, the perfect partner. Naval flips this completely. He argues that happiness is actually our default state. It's what's left over when we stop constantly craving for things to be different. It's about acceptance, not achievement.
So how do you get back to that peaceful default state? It all starts with the absolute fundamentals. Naval considers these 4 habits to be totally non-negotiable. They're like the operating system for your mind and body. If any one of them is broken, trying to find lasting peace is going to be almost impossible.
And I just love this point on reading. So many of us force ourselves to read books we think we should be reading, right? Naval's advice is way better. Let your genuine curiosity be your guide. Read what fascinates you, go down whatever rabbit holes you find interesting. The love of learning will follow, and knowledge will just compound naturally without feeling like a chore.
Okay, so we've talked about wealth and we've talked about happiness. Now let's tie it all together, because this is really where the core insight of the entire philosophy lies. This is the big reveal.
And this right here brilliantly illustrates the big aha moment. We spend our entire lives chasing happiness by trying to add things: the perfect income, the perfect body, perfect relationships. But the real game is about removing the sources of unhappiness. So instead of chasing the perfect income, focus on having no debt. Instead of a perfect body, focus on just having good health. It's a game of subtraction, not addition.
Let's just let that sink in for a second. The real game is removing the things that make you miserable. Once you get rid of the chronic stressors, the debt, the anxiety, the bad health, the toxic relationships, what's left behind? Peace. And that peace, well, that's what we often call happiness. It was there all along, just buried under all that other stuff.
Now, theory is great, but it means nothing without action. So let's make this super concrete. What can you do right now, today, to start applying these ideas? Here's a simple 3-step action plan pulled straight from Naval's wisdom.
First, get specific. Stop trying to be a generalist. What is your unique combination of skills and curiosities? Seriously, take a minute and write it down. Second, build leverage. This year, create something that scales. If you're starting from scratch, just start creating content online. It's free leverage. And third, fix the fundamentals. Before you do anything else, make sleep, exercise, and meditation your absolute non-negotiable foundation.
And ultimately, this is the best way to think about Naval's whole philosophy. This isn't a collection of life hacks or feel-good quotes. It's a first principles framework for building a life of genuine freedom. Freedom from financial worry, freedom from your own mind, and the freedom to spend your time exactly how you want to.
So I'll leave you with this one question, because listening to this stuff is easy, but actually doing it, that's where everything changes. Out of all the powerful ideas we've covered, specific knowledge, leverage, removing unhappiness, which single principle will you focus on applying this week? Just choose one and start playing a better game.